Own future is James Craig, former Detroit police commissioner and Michigan gubernatorial candidate. Commissioner, good to see you. Thank you for being here again. Last time we talked, you were still commissioner. What turned a man who had, 42, 44 years as a policeman into a politician?
Well, David, let me first thank you for letting me come on your show.
My pleasure.
And that's a great question. I've been a public servant for 44 years. I understand what leading through crisis looks like. What we don't see today, and I think you'll agree, we just don't have enough leaders who sit in seats of political influence. And you notice I didn't say leadership, who do nothing. They sit back on the fence, and the country's tired. The state's tired. They want leaders who are transparent, who understand one thing, David. We work for who? The people. This is not about self. This is about people and delivering on the services that they want. And it's missing. And I got to tell you, when we talk about defund the police movement, and you have those moderates in the same party who say nothing. So guess what? They're complicit.
Right. If you don't speak out against it, you've got to take responsibility for allowing it to happen. You're running as a Republican, but you were a Democrat up until I believe it was 2011. You made the switch. Why did you make the switch?
It's interesting. I probably made the switch during my time in LA and didn't know it. I felt very uncomfortable with the ideology. I tell the story about my interaction with Maxine Waters. I'm sure you know who she is. Back when I was a police sergeant in Los Angeles, and she made some comments to myself and my board. I led an African-American police association, and I thought, this is a leader, someone who represents us. And the premise of her conversation was surrounding, well, how can an African-American work for a department like this? Now, this was on the heels of Rodney King. And so I struggled with it. I ended the meeting, and then it wasn't until the time I went to Maine, the great state of Maine, and I was responsible for approving concealed weapons permits. And, because of my orientation, Detroit, Los Angeles, it was an act of God to get a concealed weapons permit in LA. So I'm denying. And my staff came running in, David, and says, do you know where you are? I said, yeah, the great state of Maine, Portland, Maine. Well, Chief, you need to know one thing. We love our guns, but not only do we love our guns, have you taken note of the fact that Portland has low crime? That was on a Friday. I went home and reflected over that weekend, and it made so much sense, common sense. Yeah. And so that was a turning point for me, David.
Well,
that was it.
There are, of course, a lot of Democrats who've called for defunding the police. I haven't heard a single Republican, even though the administration tried to put it on Republicans. I haven't heard a single Republican call for it. But what has happened with the explosion of crime in this country is we've seen a very definite hard turn to the right by the voting public. And you look at some of the polls that have come out now, 72% of voters, according to the most recent poll, it was a Harris-Harvard poll, 72% oppose defunding the police. And what's interesting, you talk about police tactics, stop and frisk, which was a very unpopular movement in terms of proactive policing, is now supported by 52% of voters. Not an overwhelming majority, but the fact that you'd have a majority supporting it shows where the voters are. But then you still have Democrats, as I said, calling for defunding the police. Cori Bush did so I think it was yesterday on the Capitol steps. Let me just play that tape and get your reaction. Roll tape.
I'm going to make sure I have security because I know I have had attempts on my life and I have too much work to do. There are too many people that need help right now for me to allow that. So if I end up spending $200,000, if I spend $10 more on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up, and defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police and put that money into social safety nets because we're trying to save lives.
So she's all for defunding the police, except when it comes to herself. And for herself, she gets tens of thousands of dollars of security via the taxpayers and her funders. What do you make of that?
I got to tell you, and I've talked about this before, David, hypocrisy, hypocrisy, hypocrisy. Also her arrogance. How dare she get up and tell someone to suck it up? Why don't you tell the victims where she's at what they think about her comments? Who is supporting the victims and their families? And so when you talk about defunding the police, so less security for people who live in those communities, but for her, because she's doing the real work, come on now. It doesn't, and then she says she wants to defund, but she also goes on to say she wants to put the money in social safety nets to save lives. What does that really mean, David? I tell you what she should probably do, hire herself a social worker who, by the way, is unarmed, and that's her security, since she doesn't care about her constituents.
That's a great point. I don't think she'd go for that. You know, what the interesting contrast is, while Democrats have been essentially letting criminals go free in the street with these so-called reform bail laws and such, which allow turnstile justice. We've seen that in New York and Los Angeles and San Francisco. They're taking just the opposite approach during the pandemic on law-abiding citizens, locking them down no matter what they want or in favor of, forcing various mandates, whether it deals with masks or vaccinations. And Governor Whitmer, your opponent in the upcoming gubernatorial race, which I guess is in 2022, she's been sort of the model of that lockdown personality, taking much more power than politicians have ever had in this country. What do you make of that, and how would you try to govern during the pandemic?
Well, first of all, you know, her policies and same policies that are coming out of our federal government, you know, we're killing small businesses. The economic engine in our state, in our cities, we're killing them. Now, I mean, we lock them down, and now we have a labor shortage. And why do we have that? Because we want to give continuous handouts. People are not going to come to work. And so it's flawed policy. And frankly, it's socialism 101. Let's continue to give them a handout. They're not going to work. And you're killing small business. And what makes it, you know, I've had a chance as I'm out talking to different small businesses. You know what they're telling me? She doesn't listen. She doesn't have a response.
Yeah.
And the only response is, let's help these folks. Well, I'm okay with a hand up. Let's help them. Let's get them the job skills training. But what about the small businesses? What do we say to the owners? They don't have the labor to keep their businesses open. It was some city I was watching on your network earlier. He's got to close his business down for a month and make an assessment as to whether or not he can stay open, because he just doesn't have the labor pool.
Well, we continue to have business people on to see how they're faring in this crisis. But the questions that we asked and the questions that you just asked, apparently a lot of politicians don't bother asking the business community anything about their side of this situation. That's what's so frustrating. We got to leave it at that, Commissioner, but please come back and see us again as we get closer to your run for governor. Best of luck to you dealing with the political environment. It ain't easy. I know policing, there's nothing tougher than policing, but yes, politics is pretty close. So good luck to you.
Well, thank you, David. I appreciate you.
Always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks very much.